we're having a good time here today. Welcome to all of you to a special edition today of Vent This. We have with us a friend of the Vent This family, Sam Greenfield. Now, Sam has got a lot of itches and bitches, and we wanted to give him a chance to get some of that crap off his chest. So, Sam, what's up, man?
Crumble. I wanted to talk about a few things. One of them is that I hate to sound like a hack comic, but the kids today, there's things that they don't know how to do, which they should learn how to do. For example, write a check, fill out an income tax form.
Yeah.
Learn how to write cursively.
Yeah.
There's so many things they don't know how to do. And some of them doesn't matter. But, as Chris said, when if you can't write a check, tell the government, I'll bring it over to you. No, they're looking for a check. Okay. I'll see you next week. I got to see a guy about a thing. No, they want to see it now.
Yeah.
And it's a simple process. It's not like you're asking them to, invent strontium 90 again, but they don't get it.
Yeah. It's even my kids say stuff like, why don't they teach this in high school? I have a class on geometry. What am I going to do with geometry or geology? Why don't they teach us like skills that you need in life?
Right. Well, but those skills change. We had no idea we'd have to use computers when we were kids.
Yeah.
Although they did say they were coming,
Yeah.
So, kids today, they just know how to scan their phone, or tap their credit cards and move on,
Or use my credit card and tablet. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I sense bitter.
Party of one.
Please, this seat is for you.
Yeah, exactly.
The maitre d' will be out to be condescending in just a moment.
Yeah. It's true. Times have changed, and the basics, like you said, Sam, are so vital in everyday life. And so when you mention it, you need to write a check. They look at you and they go, "You've never heard of Zelle? You've never heard of PayPal?
Mm-hmm.
What do you? Nobody. It's digital now.
Venmo's the big one too. Yeah. Another way to go. Yeah.
But I said, you got to learn the basics first.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
Yeah. Now they're trying to bring, I understand, or in Los Angeles anyway, they're trying to bring back, or is it, I think it's California, they're trying to bring cursive writing back.
Yes, that's true.
So,
and it's very bright. It's so beautiful.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. So, I'm with you, Sam. I bitch about that too. So I hear you. And I hope it does come back. And I hope, like growing up, a lot of kids went to trade schools and you'd look at, and they go, trade school? You're not going to go to college? Well, guess what? The kids who went to trade schools are doing really well and probably know more than my kids who have postgraduate degrees.
There was a guy on 60 Minutes, this is years ago, and he invented a system I haven't driven so long because I live in New York, but he invented a system for making a carburetor obsolete. Okay, which is true now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and General Motors bought it from him for $2 million. This guy had a high school education. That was it. They bought it from him for $2 million. They didn't know what to do with it. They just wanted it. It's like, there was a guy who invented a bulb and GE bought it and then put it on the shelf. It was the same kind of thing. They had no idea what to do with it. And then they said, something, we're going to give it back to him. And he said, well, how much do you want? And they said, no, just take it. We can't do anything with it. He made another $18 million off of it.
Was it fuel injection?
Yes.
Yes. Wow.
And he owns he owns a 20,000 square foot, it's a city. It's a house, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's with his high school sweetheart. They have 2 kids. He lives like a king and he's so humble.
Oh.
And they said, has this taught you anything? He says, well, you know what it is? If you find something you're good at, don't be discouraged if people tell you, oh, that's not going to work. If you keep working at it, and I thought to myself, how many people do we all know? What has this taught you? That the rest of the world sucks and I'm king and I'll get you. I'll grind you under my heel. But no, he was just a very humble guy. And he said, I can't be happier than I am with my success.
Well, if you believe in yourself, you got to believe in yourself and just keep going and things always work out.
I believe in you, Chuck.
Really? Do you really?
Yeah.
Well,
I believe in crystal light.
Crystal light.
Crystal light. Oh
That's
my
something.
gosh.
Because
Wow.
I believe in me. Damn it.
Yeah, there you go. Oh my gosh. Bada boom. So
Exactly. Or lower the boom.
or
Yeah.
lower the boom. There you go.
Yeah. My
Oh.
father used to say that.
You know what I hope comes back? Common sense and courtesy. That would be wonderful.
Oh, courtesy
Yeah.
would be a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And common
man.
sense. We could use some of that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what? When I get off when you're on the subway here in New York, you're supposed to let the people on the subway.
You're
get
actually
off.
in the subway, aren't you?
Right now, and I'm scared to death.
No,
No,
you should be in the subway. Don't get on the subway.
Oh.
It's like people getting on a plane. I'm not getting on the plane. I'm getting in the plane.
well,
That's
there's
true.
a thing here called subway surfers,
Mm-hmm.
and you can read more about them in their funeral notices.
Oh gosh.
They get on top of the subway car.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And what do they
There's a-
leap off before it goes in a tunnel? or something?
No. They wait till there's a stop and then they jump off
Oh,
if they make it. But there's a term for them. Oh, a moron. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was going to say idiot, but I figured I'd let you have that. Yeah.
Idiot. Hey, no. Idiot works. Actually, idiot probably doesn't work. That's why he's subway surfer.
Well, they're both 5-letter words, and they probably don't warrant having any more letters.
No, that's all they need. They can't count higher than that, so that's good. Yeah,
Wow.
but that kind of just basic courtesy.
Yeah.
You know, now the building I live in, people here, it's a 20-story building. People here hold the door open for other people,
Mhm.
Nice.
and if in order to get in, you have an outdoor key, and you'll see someone coming behind you who lives there. We wait for that person.
If you
So they
recognize
can
them,
huh?
or if you recognize them, or do you just let strangers in?
Well, you can have a sense of who lives here and who doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If a guy's like scratching his cheek and there's a needle coming out of his arm, as a rule, I say no. I mean, that's just my sixth sense. But
There
yeah,
was an episode of Seinfeld like that, where Jerry wouldn't let somebody in. It turned out
Yes.
he actually lived there. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, that's the it's such an easy thing to do.
Mhm.
And also, this building I live in, there's a lot of Orthodox Jewish people, and they have one elevator on Friday nights and on major holidays, where it just stops at certain floors because they're not allowed. This is so silly to me, but they're not allowed to press the button for the elevator because it's labor.
Oh, really? Oh, so that's like a
Wow.
Jewish thing?
Oh yeah. It's
Wow.
it's stunning. This is what I don't say anything to them because it's their religion. I mean, I'm
Sure.
Jewish, but that's that's way out of my league.
Right.
But I always say to these people, like, did you get up this morning? Did you make breakfast?
Mhm.
Wasn't that labor? Did you tie your shoes?
Right.
Wasn't that labor?
Well, maybe everything outside of the home is considered labor,
That's a wonderful rationalization, and I applaud you for coming up with it.
but it's not true.
Oh no, please. There was a radio guy, I can't remember his name now, from out of Seattle, and he was an Orthodox Jew. He was so unctuous. God, he made Uriah Heep look like a humble pie. And he said, we had a conference, and he goes, I'm going to not use a microphone because it's my Sabbath. And I'm in the audience, and people are looking at me going, Sam, don't say it. Sam, don't. Sam. And he goes, because in this, and I raised my hand. I said, let me ask you a question. When you got on the elevator to come down here, how did you let the elevator know that you were coming down here? Well, I pressed the button. I said, you can't do that.
Mhm.
And he goes, well, I said, there's no well. You can't do that. And one of my friends who's sitting next to me goes, making comrades wherever he goes. Yes, indeed.
Oh,
Making a
well.
buddy. But yeah, it's ridiculous. But no, but the basic politeness, just common courtesy
Yeah.
is,
Is
Yeah.
lacking for sure.
Is
And
lacking.
kids today, somewhere down the line, 10 years from now, our kids going to go, hey, wouldn't it be a great idea if we held the door for someone? It's okay.
Yeah.
It'll be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. It won't be anything. Yeah. You won't hear someone go, Well, no one does that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they'll say, why are they doing that?
Yeah. Why are they holding the door?
Yeah.
What's up with you?
Yeah.
People just let it go in their face, and then people don't look at each other. That's what's upsetting to me. Is like people can't even look at each other, can't
Yeah.
even acknowledge that there's another human being within 2 feet of them. You know,
Yeah.
they look.
My
the other
daughter is
way or look at the
amazed.
phone.
My daughter is amazed that I know a lot of people in this building
Mhm.
and on the street by name. She goes, "Why did you take the time to learn their names?"
Hmm.
I said, she says, you know the security guard's name? I said, you think it's a bad thing to know the security guard's name? Suppose I desperately needed something done. And instead of going, hey, I go, Thomas, you don't think that means something to him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
It does. It does. It goes a long way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, kids today just don't get it. People,
Yeah.
you know.
she called me frighteningly friendly.
Okay.
See, I know the names of all the dogs in the neighborhood, but not all the people. I like the dogs better.
Well, you made a conscious choice, and I applaud you for it.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Well, Sam, what about I heard somewhere that when you did stand up, you're a comedian.
Yes.
That during your show, people would interrupt your show. Exactly how would they do that? I mean,
Well, I'll give you an example. I'll give you one routine I did. I said, I was a waiter for many years, and some guy says, "Yeah, I was a waiter too." No one cares about you. No one asked you to talk. You lead a lonely life, and no one cares. Or I'm trying to think just another one. When you go to an amusement park and some guy goes, "Yeah, man, those rides are terrible." I go, "You know what's worse than those rides? You know what's more nauseating than those rides? You talking."
okay.
And then he tries to trade ball malts with me. And I go, listen, I'm not trying to be condescending. That means I'm talking down to you.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, Sam.
So,
and then his wife has to explain what was just said to him. And
yeah.
Wow.
No, but it's not
but
considered.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, please.
I was going to say, Sam, but that's not a heckler, right? I mean, heckling
No.
is...
We talked about this earlier. There's no real hecklers anymore. When I say, no, there's some guy yelling, "You suck." That doesn't happen anymore because that guy gets thrown out.
Right.
That guy but the interrupting or talking loudly or
towards you, or just talking loudly like they don't care about your show?
Talking to the person they're with.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Or they'll do something like like ha ha ha, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anything like that. Now, in my perfect world, okay, I would clap my hands and an enormously big, mean bouncer comes along and grabs that guy by the neck and throws him through a window. That's in my perfect world. Okay. And then he stands there and goes, "Anyone else? Anyone?
Yeah. Anybody got something to say?" So, but I like when I've gone to comedy clubs, and I haven't been in years now, but when I used to go to comedy clubs, I used to like sitting up front because sometimes you could interact with the comedian,
No, interacting is
on
different.
stage. Yeah.
There are some comics who are brilliant in interacting. Alan Havey is a great comic, and he was on Mad Men. He's also a fine actor.
Yep, I know who that is.
He's a brilliant guy for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't want to do it. I can do either one.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, if someone says something and I can sense that it'll be, a nice moment and we can do this, and I'll say something like, "Is that your wife?" And he goes, "Yeah." I go, "How long you been married?" And he'll say, 27 years. And I look at him and go, "You're not really happy, are you?" and they both laugh.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Listen, we're all laughing, but I think we know."
The comedians that I remember feeling bad for are the ones that like I had one time it was a comedy magic club down in Redondo Beach, where
and Hermosa Beach as well.
Yeah, or was it Hermosa? Hermosa, or wherever it was a comedy. Yeah, Hermosa. That's where Jay Leno still goes every Sunday.
Yes,
every Sunday night, and
works out his act.
Yeah, exactly. But so we were sitting there, and there was four of us. We were, two couples, and I wanted to sit up close, and the waitress, hostess, whoever it was, said, "No, we we can't sit up front. I said, well, there's empty seats up there. It's like if the first comedian comes up, and starts the act, then and nobody's sitting in those seats, then you can move up. So first comedian came out, the MC came out, and then the first comedian came out, and he started doing his act. And I looked over at the waitress, hostess, whoever it was, and I said, "Can we move?" She gave me the go ahead, and we moved up. And the comedian wasn't very good. So we move up and we sat, and it was right in front of the stage. And he goes, "Oh, look at these people here coming up here." He says, "Where are you people from?" I said, "From that table right back there." I got the biggest laugh of the night for his act.
That's
Quick.
well, there's an old saying among comics: people who sit up front should have a sign saying "Dump shit here."
That's good. I like that.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I like that. I like that interaction. It's fun.
But I don't treat the people sitting up front any different than people sitting 4 rows back. They happen to be they happen to be sitting up front.
Yeah.
And,
Well, you're just closer to the action. You just feel like
that's
you're
all.
there. That's all it is.
I did a show one time, well, many times in Providence, Rhode Island, and the MC was just, it's so funny. He was a Jekyll Hyde. He was such a nice guy, but when he MC'd, he was so mean and harsh. And Frank O'Donnell, and I, there's a couple sitting up front, African American guy, and I'm looking at Frank, and I'm saying, don't say it to myself, just let it go. And he goes, "Oh, look what we have up front. How does it feel to be the only black guy in the room?" And the black guy goes, "I don't know. How does it feel to be the only fat fuck on the planet?"
Nice.
And I thought,
Touche.
you guys, I said this to myself, you guys should switch. You should be up there.
Yeah.
And I said to the guy, I said, "I'm sorry he gave you a hard time." He said, "Oh, that was fine." He said, "I was ready for that son of a bitch." No, he said, "I've been here before. I never sat up front. I told my wife, if we happen to sit up front, I am locked and loaded."
Mm-hmm.
So he was ready for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Frank was really taken aback. I mean, he was like, he had no idea this guy was going to come across with this roundhouse right, and it just laid him out. But there was a guy I remember. It wasn't me performing, thank God, but he said to the guy, the comic said to the guy talking rather loudly, he says, "Could you lower the volume a little?" He goes, "You ask me to do something again, I'll kill you." And he looks at me and goes, "I hope it's with kindness."
Oh.
And the guy started to say something, and his wife, God bless her, went, "Bill, shut up now." And he just all of a sudden became, "I'm sorry." And she goes, "You're still talking." She wouldn't let it go. "You're still talking. I don't want to hear." And this became like a soap opera. "I don't want to hear. Shut up now."
Jesus.
And she looks up at the comic and she goes, "I'm so sorry. Is it possible for you to go with your act without my moron of a husband?"
Oh, God.
And I said, "Listen, I don't know if this matters to you, but," I didn't say this, he did. He said, "I don't know if this matters to you, but I don't think he's ever going to have another erection. I think you've rendered him impotent for life."
Oh, my God.
And I was dying for her to go, "Who could tell?" That's all I was hoping for. That's all I was hoping for. But he was just, emotionally flaccid, I think is the words I'm looking for.
gosh.
Emotionally flaccid.
Okay.
Is that a
But
medical term?
I just wrote that, so yeah, it's all right.
I think that's why I was going to say, I haven't been to a comedy club like Chuck was saying and sit in the front because I always feel like you're setting yourself up for being picked on.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yes, I would never.
But it depends
Too
on the
afraid.
time. If Jay Leno was performing, you wouldn't be setting yourself up. If
Yeah.
Gary Shandling, rest in peace, was performing, you wouldn't be setting yourself up. It depends on the comic.
Yeah.
I never talk to the audience if they're setting up front
Mhm.
because they get way too encouraged.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What happens? And I talked to you, Chris, earlier about this. They won't stop talking.
Yeah.
You mean the people that are sitting up front? They just get wrapped up in it. Yeah, so
they become the guests that wouldn't leave.
right.
And what happens is after the show is over, they walk up to you and go, "We did great, huh?" They
Yeah.
literally say that. And they think I helped you.
Yeah.
And one guy, I remember one guy. What was his name? Vince De Leon. And this woman came up and said, "I helped you, didn't you? Didn't I?" He said, "You helped me decide to kill myself. And I want you there when I step on the third rail. I want you to hold my hand, you loud, miserable strumpet."
It's like-
She goes, "What's a strumpet?" He said, "What do you think it is?" She goes, "Nothing good." I said, "That's right. Nothing." Or he said, "That's right. Nothing good. Because that's what you are. Nothing good." And he walks away.
Nothing good.
And he looks at me, he goes, "Too harsh?"
That's a lot of venting there,
Wow.
Sam. Wow. Now we see what it feels like to be a comedian. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's, somebody said to me, "I think I could do this." I said, "Do me a favor. Go to a comedy club that has 3 people in the audience and see how you do.
hmm
There's 4 people in the audience. See how you do. And if you can make those 4 people laugh in any way, then you can give it a shot." But,
Right.
when people say, "Well, I went on stage on a Saturday night at the comic strip in New York." If you can't make people laugh on a Saturday night at the comic strip in New York, then you should sell aluminum siding. You will
Right.
never, ever be a comic. I mean,
Yeah.
that audience is there to laugh. They are there to laugh.
They're all
Yeah.
drunk and ready to laugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if they're not drunk, it's a packed house. It's a Saturday night. They're ready.
And if one
also-
person giggles, it feeds the laughter for the rest. People.
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
addictive.
and the best comics that club books are there that night.
Mhm.
You won't see a guy, Artie Gaffarty in the brown spots. No, it's going to be someone really, really funny.
Yeah.
That was a 50s band, wasn't it? Artie Gaffarty and the Brown Spots.
I know.
Well, it was either that or Benny Banana and the Bunch playing music with appeal.
What are you? It's like another language you're speaking. What are you
Who is this man in these words he uses?
Playing music with appeal. There we
my
go.
God.
That's like,
Well, Sam, we want to hear also your whole vent about the crazy fans you encountered. I mean, I've had a few of those at sporting events, but what is your vent?
Well, the thing I always keep in mind is, when I was a kid, I'll give you an example of something. When I was a kid, I saw the Beatles' first American performance.
Wow.
Okay. February 11th, 1964, at Uline Arena, a skating rink in Washington, D.C. My mother and I lived on the corner of that block. Okay. When that show ended, I was home before the Beatles got into their limo. That's how close we were.
wow.
Wow.
Okay. The tickets for that concert, $5.
Wow.
And they also had other acts. I don't know if you remember this. Diane Renee, Blue Navy, Blue Eyes, Blue. She was there. They always had opening acts. They had when they performed at RFK Stadium, they had the Circle, Red Rubber Ball,
Mm-hmm.
and Bobby Hebb, Sonny. Thank you for the. They had him, and they had the Ronettes.
And they spelled circle wrong.
Yes, they did. But they
A lot
were
of kids
managed
thought
by.
that's
They
the
were
way you spell circle.
And by the way, they couldn't sing for shit. I mean, they were, "It's much too easy a summer's day to stop now, please."
Yeah.
My ears are on strike. Stop. Please, if you love me, kill me. But it was $5. And so when I was a kid, my father, I'd say to my dad, "Dad, I want to go see," this is the Washington Senators. This is 2 generations ago. And they were terrible. There was an old joke about them. First in war, first in peace, last in the American League. And they were terrible. And my father, I'd say to my dad, "Dad, I want to go see the Senators play today." He says, "Okay, so let me see. 50 cents, 25 cents for the streetcar, 75 cents for the game, 50 cents for 2 hot dogs. All right, here's $4. So go have fun."
Wow.
$4 can't get you a hot dog now.
You can't hot dog, a
Hot
cup of
dog.
coffee.
Yeah.
At a game? No.
Yeah. I don't think you can get a sugar packet.
Well, I went with a friend one time, and he said, "Listen, you got me." I had a friend who worked for the Mets, so he got me tickets. So I invited a friend of mine,
Mm-hmm.
And he said, listen, I'm going to go get you a beer. I said, I don't drink. He says, you don't drink? I said, no. He said, why not? I said, this is the God's truth. I just don't like the taste.
Mm-hmm.
I just do not like the taste of alcohol.
Then
I'm not in recovery. I just don't like the taste. He says, well, I'll get you a soda. I said, do you have a cosigner? Because I'm telling you,
It's ridiculous. I went to a Dodger game for the first time in several years with a neighbor friend, and he got the tickets and the parking. He took care of it online, all of it, in advance. And we got in, we found our seats, we sat down, and I said, you want a beer? You want to? Yeah. So we went up. I said, let me take care of this. We got up and got 2 hot dogs, 2 beers, and a bag of peanuts, and it was $72.
Oh, holy! I know.
Yeah.
Can I tell you
ridiculous.
Why? Can I tell you why?
Why?
Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. And I think it's ridiculous that any ball players get paid this kind of money. They're playing ball, and I think for that kind of money, they should get hit in the balls a little bit more often, just for the entertainment factor.
Little balls.
Yeah, I mean, then it's worth the money. But if they're just going to go out there and hit the fucking ball and play the game, why should they get paid $700 million?
Now who's venting? God damn it.
Yes, exactly. God damn it. I got to let it out.
By the way, here's a story for you. They make a lot of money, right? There was a guy who pitched for the New York Yankees in 1964, Jim Bouton. You wrote the book Ball 4 about, life in the major leagues.
Mm-hmm.
And Jim Bouton in 1964 won 21 games, lost 7, and won 2 games in the World Series. And they tried to cut his salary.
Mm.
So,
Wow.
and I remember Willie Mays made $100,000, and the owner of the San Francisco Giants, Horace Stoneham, said, I swear to God, if I could pay him one more dime, I would. Oh, shut up. Please. Please. You spend that much on socks. Who are you kidding?
Yeah, exactly.
But you got to remember something. The reason they can pay them that is TV money.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Fox, Fox Sports, ESPN, they pay them like $1 billion, and this is not an exaggeration, $2.5 billion to broadcast the games. And then they charge the advertisers, a certain amount. So the money's there,
mm-hmm.
And what I did last time I went to a game, I smuggled 2 hot dogs in. And my friend of mine said, I hope you don't have them near your pants because people are going to think you're not here for the game.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I just want to watch the players sweat.
We used to, before all the security got tight, we used to smuggle beer in. We'd stop at the liquor store and get like a big Sapporo.
Sure.
Wrap it up in your blanket and you walk in. Nobody knows. And then you go up and you buy a beer at the stand. Now you have your paper cup and then you pour it from the big jug,
Those days are gone.
Yeah, you can't.
I'll tell you a story. I'm going to go back. You ready? 120 years. When my father was 4 years old, 5 years old.
You don't look that old.
Yeah, you look good for your age.
I work out.
Yeah.
My father grew up in Baltimore, and he would sneak in to Baltimore. Were they the Orioles then? I don't know what they were. No, the Orioles used to be the St. Louis Browns. I don't know what their Baltimore team was.
Not to be confused with Benny and the Brown Spots.
No, that's right. Artie Gaffardi and the Brown Spots. It's Benny Banana and the Bunch.
Oh,
let's get it right.
Jesus.
So he would sneak into these Baltimore games, right, with him and a friend. And it was like a dime to get in. But, a dime was more than it is now. And they would sneak in. And John McGraw was the manager of the team.
Mm-hmm.
And he caught them. And I said to my father, well, what did he say to you? He said, what did he say? He said, get lost, you little Jew bastards. I'll break your necks. I said, did he really? He said, Sam, do you think a guy who finished 8th grade, chews tobacco, and spits it on his wife has any sense of well, that would be the wrong thing to say. No, Sam, they're idiots. They're crude, loud bigots. That's what they are. I said, well, why do you want to see them? He goes, well, because they could really play ball.
Yeah.
He said, I don't want to be their neighbor.
Yeah.
I just want to watch them play ball.
Wow, man, this half hour went by fast.
Jesus, it was wonderful.
Got a lot of great stories and a lot of great venting. I don't know. Do you feel any better, Sam?
I feel like a new woman.
You feel well.
Good for you.
I'll tell you what, you don't look like a new woman.
Wait till I start ovulating. Wait till I start ovulating, then you'll be sorry.
Oh, Jesus.
Sam, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
So-
Pleasure's mine.
Yeah, Sam. So Sam Greenfield, everyone. Just a friend of the Ventus family, and hopefully we'll have you back here soon.
Seventh-day Adventist.
7-day Adventist. Look at that.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice. Very. You
This
just
is-
thought
this-
that up? Wow.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Well, Sam, thank you, and everybody out there. Don't forget to go to ventus.org and give us your comments on Sam. We'll let them know what you think of him.
Wouldn't it be great if somebody wrote, "Who is this piece of shit?"
Exactly. Well, you never know. It could happen. And now that you've put it in their mind, it might. So, but yeah, go to ventus.org, write us a vent, and
I had a lot of
we'll
fun.
read it.
Thank you very much.
It's
Thank you.
been great. Yeah, right on the website you can write, and also you can leave a voicemail vent, and we'll play it back on an upcoming episode. Leave the voicemail vent by calling 818-570-2535.
What is that number again?
That number again is 818-570-2535. We'll play the voicemail on an upcoming episode, but I think I already said that. So
Yeah.
so go out there and smile at go out there and smile at people today, and it'll probably make them nervous.
What the hell does he want?
Bye.
That was fun.
That was fun.